Hello, and welcome to the relearning assignment for distance. You should have a paper that looks exactly like what I'm using right now. If you don't, you can write out the questions and hand them in on loose leaf. If you need to look for the paper, I have copies of it in my room on 1029. The distance formula. The distance formula is based off from the Pythagorean theorem. A squared plus b squared equals c squared. We're going to solve for c squared. A equals x sub 1 minus x sub 2, which we get from the points that are given in the problem. B equals y sub 1 minus y sub 2, and those, again, are given in the problems. We put them back into the Pythagorean theorem and we solve. Here's an example. X sub 1, y sub 1 are underneath our point that we have here. Negative 4 is x sub 1, negative 3 is y sub 1. We have x sub 2 and y sub 2. Negative 8 is x sub 2, 7 is y sub 2. We're going to put it into our formula. A equals negative 4 minus a negative 8. It's always subtraction with distance. But when we have a subtraction of a negative using our algebra, we have a negative 4 plus 8, which gives us a positive 4. Negative 4 plus 8 gives us a positive 4. The b is the y sub 1, which is a negative 3, minus 7. This can also be changed to addition if you'd like. Negative 3 plus a negative 7, which gives us our negative 10. Putting it in our formula, a equals 4 and b equals negative 10. 4 squared plus a negative 10 squared gives us our c squared. This is a squared plus b squared equals c squared. We're solving for c squared. 4 squared is 16. Negative 10 times negative 10 is 100 equals c squared. We add these together. It's 116 equals c squared. We take the square root of both answers. C equals the square root of 116. We can leave it like this, or we can put it in our decimal form. And in decimal form, 116, if we were to put it on in our calculator, 116, and then hit our square root button, that equals 10.77. Most of the answers that you'll have on the test will be done in decimal form or multiple choice, where you'd have to have the negative 116. Let's take a look at another. This is x sub 1, y sub 1, x sub 2, y sub 2. Now you're going to have to memorize the distance formula. There's just no other way around it. It's one of those things that you're just going to have to memorize. When we put this, a equals x sub 1 minus x sub 2, which is 1 minus 5, which will give us a negative 4. B equals y sub 1 minus y sub 2, which is 10 minus 3, which gives us a 7. A equals a negative 4, b equals 7. Negative 4 squared plus 7 squared gives us our distance c squared. Now if we were to put these, we'll finish this one out, but 16 plus 49 equals c squared. That's 65 equals c squared. Take the square root of both sides. C equals 8.062. Now when we're looking at these here, if we were to graph them on a graph, we would go over 1 and up 10. And our point would be like up here. And then there's 5 and up 3, which puts us right about here. Now the important part is that you're getting the distance right here, the length of the line. It's on an angle, so it's hard to measure. You have to be able to use the Pythagorean theorem. And you could possibly make a right triangle. But this is, if you're having a little difficulty with this, you're going to just have to memorize the formula. Put it together and using the Pythagorean theorem. Square both things, add them together, and then take the square root. Flip your paper over. And on the back is a problem that I'd like you to try on your own. But this is also the graph where you might be given a line on a graph. If this is the case, these are handled the exact same way. This is our x sub 1, this is our y sub 1, this is our x sub 2, this is our y sub 2, and we handle it with our formula exact same way. A equals -2 minus 3, which is a -5. This is -2 plus a -3 if you want to change it to addition. B equals 4 minus a -2. This one, because it is a double negative here and here, it needs to be changed to addition. This is 4 plus 2, which is 6. A equals -5, B equals 6. We're going to put it into our Pythagorean theorem. -5 times -5 gives us 25, plus 6 times 6, which is 36, equals c squared. 25 and 36 added together give us 61 equals c squared. Take the square root of both numbers, putting in our 61 in our calculator. If you turn your phone sideways, you can see it, but it's the same process. We take our square root, c equals 7.81. And that's the length of our line that we have here. Memorize the formula. That's the only way that you can really, if you have to be able to do the work to be able to memorize it. Please hand in the paper so that I can see number 4 and how you did, and I'll take a look at that. And then I'd like you to please sign your name on the bottom of the paper here so that I know that you've watched the video all the way through. Just like I did. So if you can do that, that would be great. Thank you.